Hi everyone, my name is Ciara. I'm a dietetic intern here at Umpire District and Family Health Team. So today I'm going to be presenting to you this month's Budget Bites video. So we'll be making a vegetarian taco bowl. So what you'll need for this recipe, you'll need a pepper. I'm using a red pepper, but whatever other color of pepper you have works. I just thought the red would add a nice color to our dish. 1.5 cups of rice. I'm using long and wild rice, a rice blend, but whatever you have in your cupboard works as well. Brown rice would work really well with this recipe. 1/2 tablespoon of minced garlic, and I've already gone ahead and chopped my garlic. 1 cup of corn, and I'm using frozen corn for this recipe. 1 medium onion. I'm using 2 small onions because these are quite small. So if you have 1 medium onion, that's great. 1.5 cups of lentils. You can use canned or dried lentils. I've used dried lentils, and I've already gone ahead and soaked and cooked my lentils. And 1 cup of black beans. So again, same as the lentils, you can use either canned or dried black beans. When you are choosing a canned product, it is important to read the nutrition label or look for nutrition claims. So you want to try and choose a product that is low in sodium or that has no added salt. So here my black beans have no added salt. So this is a better alternative. For the seasoning, if you don't have a large variety of spices, you can use the prepackaged taco seasoning. Again, you want to try and read the label and try and find a product that is low in sodium. But because I have a large variety of spices, I'm going to be mixing my own taco seasoning. So you'll need 1 tablespoon of chili powder, a quarter teaspoon of garlic powder, a quarter teaspoon of onion powder, a quarter teaspoon of dried oregano, 1/2 teaspoon of paprika, 1.5 teaspoons of cumin, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and 1 teaspoon of pepper. So I really enjoy making my own seasoning because then I can adjust it according to my likes. For instance, I'm not someone who can handle spicy foods very well, so I tend to not add very much chili powder or chili flakes. But if you were someone that really enjoys spice, you could always add more chili powder or add in some chili flakes, whatever you prefer. So again, making your own seasoning will really help monitor what you're putting in, and you can adjust it according to your preferences. For the toppings, you can use whatever kind of toppings you would like. I'm going to be using an avocado. If you like cilantro, this would be a great topping. It would pair really well for this recipe. I don't like cilantro personally, so I'm going to be using green onions. You can also use salsa as a topping, or you can use cherry tomatoes chopped up with some red onions. I'm also going to be adding spinach to make it more of a salad, but if you don't want to make it more of a salad, you can always not include the spinach or change it for lettuce or kale, whatever you prefer. This recipe is very flexible, so you can change whatever ingredient you would like according to your preferences. So we are going to start with the rice. I'm going to be cooking my rice in my rice cooker, but cook your rice according to the package. So when cooking rice, you want to first rinse off your rice. I'm starting with the rice because it takes the longest to cook. So I've already gone ahead and chopped my vegetables. So I have my pepper and onion and garlic ready to go. I've also gone ahead and mixed my taco seasoning. So I have my taco seasoning ready to go as well. For my black beans, because I have decided to use canned, I am going to rinse them thoroughly before using. And one of the good indications that you've done a thorough job rinsing is, especially with the black beans, if once the water becomes clear and is no longer black, that means you've done a pretty good job rinsing. So you can then use your beans to cook with. So now that our rice is cooking, we can start cooking up our vegetables. So I'm just going to move my camera so that you can see what I'm cooking. So I have all my ingredients right beside me ready to go so I can toss them in. So I'm going to turn on the stove so we can start heating our pan. I'm going to add my oil. So I'm using a canola oil because it is inexpensive and does well at high heat. But whatever kind of oil you have in the house that does well at high heat would work for this as well. So about 3 tablespoons. I don't really measure. I just kind of estimate. As long as your pan is well coated at the bottom, that's what you want. So I'm going to wait for my oil to heat up. And then I can toss in my onion and pepper. And you want to hear that sizzle. That means your pan is nice and hot. Now I'm going to add my garlic. And I'm going to turn my vegetables down to cook over a medium heat. A high medium. And because we didn't add very much salt in our taco seasoning, I'm going to add just a little bit of salt to flavor up the vegetables a little bit. So I'm going to let the onions and peppers cook down. And meanwhile, I'm going to go check on my rice. So we're going to cook this until the onions become translucent. Now we're going to add our beans. So our black beans and our lentils. I have a little bit more than a cup here. I'm going to estimate about a cup. Same with my lentils, so I'm just going to estimate about a cup and a half. I'm going to turn it down a little bit. I really love using legumes because they're such an inexpensive source of protein. If you're new to using legumes, you want to try and add them gradually into your diet because if you add too many, it can cause some kind of unpleasant problems, like you could get bloated or have flatulence. So a good way of incorporating them gradually into a meal, for instance, this meal, you could reduce the amount of lentils and black beans that you are using, mix it in with a lean source of protein like ground chicken or turkey. Now we're going to add the corn. I'm also going to reduce the heat and add the taco seasoning, because if you keep it at a high heat, the taco seasoning tends to stick to the pan. And there we are. Our taco bowl filling is done. If you can get a good visual of this. Now, if you didn't want to have rice with this dish, you could always add this filling to a wrap and have a wrap with maybe a side salad. Now, because our filling is done, I'm going to start to assemble our dish. So I'm going to move my camera back over to where it was originally. So now I'm going to start plating up our dish and show you what the finished plate looks like. I'm going to chop up our green onion for the garnish. And slice up our avocado. This is a pretty big knife to be using to slice up my avocado, but that's okay, as long as you're safe using it. I'm also going to add just a little dollop of salsa, just to add a little bit more flavor. And if you wanted to use some cherry tomatoes with some chopped up red onion, or if you wanted to add a little bit of cheese to this dish, that would be great as well. If you do add a little bit of cheese, you could always add an old cheddar, because you need a little bit less because it has a stronger flavor. Sprinkle my green onions on top. And there we are. Our dish is complete. And I'll give you a better visual of this. And that's it. Your dinner or your lunch is ready. So this recipe, it was very quick and easy, simple, nutritious, and budget friendly. So I don't think you can go wrong with trying this recipe. But I want to hear from you. So if you've tried this recipe or you've altered some of the ingredients, if you've liked it or disliked it for whatever reason, please comment below and we'll try out your changes. Or if you have any other recipes that you would like us to try, or if you have any foods that you're unfamiliar with that you would like us to demonstrate how to cook or how to use, please feel free to comment below, because we would love to hear any kind of feedback from you. So thanks again for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Bye!